We're at ConneXions 2021, and we ran into Brad Moline. Actually, we saw him on stage.
Our whole design was made for us before we had COVID.
Brad, you continue to do amazing things with Allo in Lincoln and beyond. And let's talk about one of the things that you spoke of, this idea of bringing community Wi-Fi into the community, obviously, but in a different way of bringing it to educational scenarios. So why don't you talk to that for a moment?
Well, first of all, I do very little. It's we've got a team of 700 people, and hopefully soon a team of over 1,000 people doing the work. We started years ago with hosted Wi-Fi. So that means we provide the Wi-Fi router for almost 100% of our consumers and a decent number of our small businesses. Well, if you have that overlay and you have 50 to 60% market share, well, you have a Wi-Fi network. So how could you use it? So we worked with Calix, and they're adding a like hidden SSID is the best way I can describe it, so that different groups can just join anytime they see the Wi-Fi availability. So one is through students. Now, when I talk students, I mean pre-K to doctoral. So that's exciting that there'd be a free flow of learning across communities, but not just across a community, but our 22 communities. Now we're starting to change the digital divide. Now we're starting to create gigabit societies. And that's what we're after. We're not after to make Netflix not buffer. Anybody can do that. But what we're after is how the hospitals work with their patients, how the schools work with their students, and how businesses work with now the people working at home, as well as their customers. So there's many, many applications, health and safety, education, and the reality is we're just an enabler. They'll figure out where it goes. So I'm excited about the project. It looks like it's right around the corner. And hopefully we'll be helping fix the digital divide, make it so kids can do better at homework. Even if we're out of the learn from home, you're still learning from home, weekends and at night. I know some teachers have said, hey, I've got kids that can't get on the internet. They've got Chromebooks. Well, they can't assign homework. That technology is actually making us step back. Hopefully this will help us step forward in a meaningful way.
What makes this exciting is what you're introducing really is this concept of kind of a virtual school. But the school districts can actually embrace this. Are they embracing it?
Yeah, it's really, much of this is driven by the feds. There's a project called EduRoam, and Nebraska and Arizona were granted some funds to help develop this. Well, it turns out that Nebraska and Arizona are two of our regions or states that we focus on. So we're excited to see where it goes. In the end, though, it just gives them access to their content in their school. Well, great. You don't need to hear any more stories about some mom with their kids in the back seat sitting outside of a McDonald's or sitting outside of a Starbucks. Let's just let them learn, whether it's at the library, outside of a business, coffee shop, their home, their friend's home. And when they go over to a friend's house to study, they really can. Everything just flows. And so I'm excited about the opportunities.
Well, and you guys have been part of the EBB, the Emergency Broadband Benefit Program, and it seems like this could be another variation of that, where instead of offering by price, you're offering by service. And you know, it seems like you could have some creative packaging.
Yeah, if everything's based on price, you've already lost. It's got to be based on experience. And with the EBB program, what we found is there was a pocket of consumers, of people that we weren't reaching as well as we should have. Now with the EBB program, we've pressed and worked as hard as we can. I just got actually an email this morning that 25% of the EBB participants in the state of Nebraska are in Allo. Well, that's great.
Yeah,
I love that. Well, is it because we push? I don't know why. But here's some people that otherwise might not be part of the connected community who now are. We'll figure out how to make money on it later. Right now, the feds are doing a great job. It's the first meaningful broadband program I've seen in 25 years. So, hey, I like the momentum. Get people connected, get them to experience things, how they work, how they learn, entertainment. We can't forget that either. We can have fun as humans, and that's part of our process as well.
That's an impressive figure, 25%, because I know you guys don't represent yet 25% of the broadband share of Nebraska, right?
No, we don't. And I really hope my stat's right. It just came in from one of my one of the people who I work with, and I was, hey, that's pretty impressive. So we'll see. It might be 25% in the cities that we serve, but either way, it's a meaningful number.
It is. And what sort of actions did you take to let people know is available?
Well, we've always given the nonprofits free service, gigabit service. They don't need to be raising money to connect to then help people. I mean, that just seems so backwards.
Oh my gosh,
So we have, just in the city of Lincoln alone, we have 81 or 82 people who we've given gigabit service. Well, they're doing meaningful things. They're helping different pockets of the community engage, be successful, support them in some fashion. So we have that. And then in many ways, they port their trust with someone who maybe English is a second language, or an elderly person, or someone who needs some support. They port from their trust with who they're helping to us. So now that we can help them. What a great environment. So then they get connected and life gets better. And EBB, and so we put a lot of money in it, and we've been intentional. What we haven't done is said, well, a certain number of people will qualify anyway. We'll just switch from them paying it to the government paying. We want new people who have never been connected. We provide the Wi-Fi router. It's real simple. And so hopefully we can make a meaningful difference.
Well, and the other thing, you're not talking about LTE hotspots like other people are providing. You actually are bringing fiber, right, into those places?
Yeah, and not only are we bringing fiber, the speed we offer is 500 meg up and down with world-class latency. The family that wasn't connected, what people don't realize is that kid is now almost on the outside looking in because everybody else is gaming. Everybody else has this experience. Well, now they're at parity. One of those barriers is now eliminated, and they don't have to say, well, oh, I'm not on that. Oh, I don't. And, TikTok or whatever, I'm older, whatever the kids are into these days, they can participate in that. That's powerful. And to me, that's our purpose, is to connect communities.
That's huge. And one of the things that you've been doing is expanding. And so how do you keep that local connection as you expand, beyond Lincoln and beyond Nebraska to these other states?
It's like you may have been in our management meetings. That question's a hard one. We started in a town, Scottsbluff, Gering, Nebraska, combined about 25,000 people. Well, then we did some other roughly the same size communities. Then all of a sudden you jump to Lincoln, and that was 12 years into our company. Wow. How do you make Lincoln look like Bridgeport, Nebraska, that's 1,400 people? Well, you do with products, but how you support the community is different. So what we do is we call it a franchise. Basically, the product, the pricing, how it's provisioned, how it's supported is all the same no matter where we are. Then we have a very intentional local feel with how we market, how we participate in the communities, all those types of things. And so then when we moved into Colorado, same thing. Now that we're moving into Arizona, the same thing. So that, as I like to say, the horizontal slice of our business, our residential or business process, is the same everywhere. And then how we slice it in each community is a little bit different. And you have a local feel. People, we don't lord over everybody as a corporation. So you let the local people have local decisions, but at the same time, that quality service stays the same. That's our model, and it's working very well right now.
Yeah, so you still have that local touch, that local presence.
And that's important. I'll just grab a couple of communities. We have a community, Valentine, Nebraska, which happens to be a tourist community. But it's nothing like Breckenridge, which will be nothing like Lake Havasu. Yeah, they all have tourism. But again, you have to let the local people be intentional about here's how our community operates. Huge differences in geography, altitude, everything else, temperature in each of those. Well, let the local people make you awesome, but then let the corporate make the product consistent and world-class.